Hello everyone, I'm Tommy with Studio Scents. Today I'm bringing you a designer fragrance haul for scents specifically slated for summer. I've got Calvin Klein's Eternity Aqua, have Salvatore Ferragamo Subtil+Ultra, and I think I've got Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male or Ultra Male. And then lastly, Ellis For Men, I think the 2017 edition. There was originally like a 2000, no actually there was originally a 1985 version, Ellis For Men, the original. I think it was called the Cologne on the bottle. And then a 2008 version. This is actually the 2017 version. And in fact, there is a new release 2020 this year, Ellis Bold Red. That's actually on the way. I'm kind of looking forward to that because it has some really cool notes in it, including one of my favorite, and that is apple. So looking forward to that. So when we return, we'll get into those bottles, get that presentation going, see what the juice is like, that and more. So stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Well, summer is by no means over. We are in September. This is the very first week of September. We still have this month and then October to go. Now, historically, it does start getting a little bit cooler, but that by no means means the dog days of summer are over. We still have some high heat days coming up. And so you're still going to be reaching in your rotation for summertime fragrances, or at least I recommend that. So if you're thinking of reaching for something a little bit different, maybe new or old, just something you haven't tried before, check out today's haul. I've got 4 fragrances, each from a different designer, and they're all summertime fragrances that would be perfect to grab if you want something a little bit different. Now, this next fragrance has been around for a while. There was some talk whether it was discontinued or not. I'm not so sure it's discontinued. I think it's probably still in production, but maybe it's one of those that they're thinking of discontinuing. I'm not sure. It is a Salvatore Ferragamo fragrance, and it is called Subtil+Ultra. If I'm saying that right. I'm looking forward to checking this out. It's got a kind of a neat presentation. I've had my eye on it for a while, and it's got some really good notes. But before we check out those notes and the juice, let's check out that presentation. Salvatore Ferragamo's Subtil+Ultra. Now, judging by the smell in the air, this is going to be a very citrusy, slightly green, just a wee bit vegetal fragrance. At least that's what I'm getting in the air, which I probably trust more than a tester strip, but tester strip is right up front, right there at the nose, so let's go ahead and try that. Won't linger too long on the strip before we get to skin though, so no worries. Atomizer is great, excellent. This is like, to me, the perfect atomizer. It's got a nice straight spray array, and it goes about 2 to 3 inches at the very apex of the spray. This is a little similar to Ermenegildo Zegna's Uomo. Uomo is a very nice, fresh, slightly citrusy, very green, more along the green side. Now, with summertime fragrances, you have a couple different gradients on the spectrum. There are summertime fragrances that are just specifically sweet. There's fruit juicy, there's juicy vegetal, there's vegetal herbaceous, you know what I mean? So this one is more along the lines of a citrusy green, slightly vegetal. I'm gonna check it out on skin though. I really do like it on the strip. As it dries down, it's getting a little bit of a spicy accord. In the top, you've got ginger, cardamom, mandarin, and there's like an aquatic lotus in there as well. You've got laurel, violet, and nutmeg in the mid with a base of musk, amber, and patchouli. So rounding out that base, you've got really nice, very masculine fragrance with some really good traditional notes there. Put that on the inside of my arm. The ginger and cardamom are such a good mix because the ginger, of course, makes it lift off the skin very well. It gives a little bit of sharpness in your nose. The cardamom, a little bit of sweetness there with a spicy, kind of a spicy woody accord. This is also serving up a dish of a little bit bitter and very herbaceous green, slightly vegetal. On skin, that vegetal really opens up, so it's a lot more greener, a lot more vegetal on skin than it is on a strip. But I like this. This is a very effusively green, slightly aquatic fragrance. That lotus in there gives it kind of an aquatic sensibility. So what that does is it kind of cuts the edge off of the green before it gets super vegetal, and it keeps it within that world of very unoffensive, unobtrusive fragrances that would be great for the office, great for just standard daytime casual wear. So again, great summertime fragrance. This is going to be one that's not going to be super unique on your shelf. It's going to be very similar to other fragrances, again, like Ermenegildo Zegna's Uomo, several other fragrances that are like this, kind of like saying, hey, this is a twist on a summertime green freshie. And it really is. I like that. It's actually projecting really well off my arm. I'm going to say this has probably got average projection with average longevity. I could be wrong on that, but it feels like that's probably going to tend to be more true than not. Salvatore Ferragamo's Subtil+Ultra. Really great price. Hopefully still in production. I grabbed this up at a rack store for relatively inexpensive. I think it was like 24 bucks. In my estimation, very well worth it. Slated as modern, casual, kind of aquatic woody back in 2010, which was when it was launched, Calvin Klein released Eternity Aqua for Men. Kind of an aquatic, woody, fresh approach to the Eternity DNA and scent profile. So let's check out that presentation first. I failed to mention that Salvatore Ferragamo's Subtil+Ultra is an eau de toilette concentration, as well as Eternity Aqua for Men is an eau de toilette concentration. So it's got a cool cucumber note in there. It has, of course, the lotus, various fruits, and then green leaves in the top. Got Sichuan pepper, Mirabelle plum, got lavender and cedar in the mid. Sandalwood, guaiac wood, patchouli, and musk is the base that it's resting on. So a very nice, well-rounded, masculine set of notes. I get that fresh, aquatic, woody kind of category. Let's go ahead and try it on a tester strip. This one has a banger of an atomizer as well, and it's built in, as you can see in the presentation, and it's built into the top there. So all you gotta do is depress it, comes right out. So even though it's in the mid, you get kind of an effusive black pepper there. So there's quite a bit of black pepper, I can tell right off the bat, because it's just like boom, right in your nose, that Szechuan. Mirabelle plum might as well just be a phrase thrown out there because it's not really in this fragrance in terms of smell, at least off a tester strip. I hope that testing it on skin proves me wrong. Definitely a little bit of lavender in there, getting that woody base with some guaiac wood and the cedar, and then of course the creamy sandalwood, and of course that black pepper is really predominant in this. Let's try it out on skin. Let me let some of that alcohol dry away and maybe it'll change my opinion, but there's something about that black pepper in this that's really kind of astringent in my nose. I don't really care for it. There's something in here that to me isn't mixing well. It's not jiving, it's clashing. There's some kind of like scent dichotomy going on in this that I do not like. Yeah, so the aquatic's starting to come out in the dry down. The dry down is okay, but there's so many fragrances that do aquatics so much better than Eternity Aqua that I would never probably turn to this. Not to beleaguer a point or kick a dead horse, there's just so many better aquatics out there than this to reach for in your rotation. I thought I was going to bring you 4 fragrances that are great today. So far we're 1 for 2. Subtil+Ultra is great. Eternity Aqua, I'd turn the other direction. This next fragrance, as I talked about in the open, has been around for a while. It was originally created in 1985. It was reintroduced in 2008, I believe, then reinvigorated and refreshed the face of in 2017, and that is Ellis For Men. Ellis For Men. Before we get into the notes though and compare it to these first 2, let's go ahead and check out that presentation. Ellis For Men 2017 edition. I really like how that's smelling in the air. Ellis and their square bottles. It's almost like Ellis put two kids in a lab, one with round pegs and one with square pegs, and they just said, well, let's just do both bottle designs. You either get the 360 round or you get the, the square. But I like that presentation. It's utilitarian, but it feels good in the hand. Ellis really is a designer house that's rather utilitarian. Let's face it, they're neither super creative or super unique, but I think they have found a niche in that utilitarian side. That really quick, easy, dumb grab when you want something that's going to give you decent performance with a decently solid, fresh smell. This is going to be one of those slightly typical Italian fougères. You've got top notes of Italian bergamot, lavender, and verbena. Heart notes of juniper, geranium, and rosemary, resting on a base of amber, oak moss, and Indonesian sandalwood. So a nice set of notes, all of them very masculine, all of them blend very well together. Let's check it out on a tester strip. Gotta dig that Indonesian sandalwood. Atomizer's banging on this. This is another one that's very reminiscent of a lot of other fragrances out there. Again, it's neither unique nor special, nor a banger of performance. At least I feel very, very comfortable saying that right now as a first impression. It kind of is reminiscent a little bit of a recent fragrance first impression, and that is Modern by Banana Republic. This has kind of a modern feel or spin to it, probably done a little bit better. So this is what Modern wants to be in terms of quality. I think it's doing a little bit better even with a tester strip, but I'm just gonna jump straight to skin. So I'm gonna try it out on the top of my hand here. Nice, nice. So a very masculine, this is like the brighter, lighter side of a somewhat barbershop fougere. This strays a little bit more away from the barbershop. All of these so far have kind of canted to the green side of fresh summertime fragrances. And I really like that because you miss the green when you start going into fall. So in the last days of summer, grab your green freshies instead of your blue aquatics. I highly recommend the greens simply because it's a great introduction to transitional fragrances. The green fragrances will lead a lot better into those transitional fragrances for fall and autumn than will the blue. So I like how everything mixes together and kind of reminds you of that light, fuzzy, woody feeling that you get. Everything kind of that sits on the forest floor with a little bit of an acrid bitterness there that I think is distinctly needed for a fougere. And I think Ellis For Men 2017 edition is a great addition to your green summer rotation. This next fragrance is a huge departure from anything green, vegetal, or herbaceous. This is going to be something very, very sweet, and it's going to be something along the lines of high energy, high youthful vigor, kind of a clubbing fragrance as they're very well known. And of course, you know that I'm referring to Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. Ultra Male is the second to last flanker in the Le Male line of fragrances, Le Male Le Parfum being the last one. Now, pulling this out brings to mind a question that I want to answer in a future video, and that is, which is better? Le Male Parfum, Ultra Male. A lot of people go to this as being the best flanker, but in that latest release, do they still feel that way? Would I feel that way? I'll definitely check that out in a future video, probably very soon, so be on the lookout for that. But let's go ahead and check out that presentation. So it's nothing new. You're probably all very familiar with the Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male, the presentation. To me, that is a positive. That's a really good, because when you think of clubbing fragrances, you think of getting together with your friends, having a good time, meeting new people. There's a lot of positivity in that connotation rather than any kind of negative connotation like getting drunk, being sick, having a hangover. That's the flip side of that. We don't want to do that. We want to stay with the whole meeting new people, having a good time, getting a lot of energy and vibing well with others. So that is the representation of this fragrance that I'm sticking to, Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. or ultra male, as someone might say. Now, this isn't necessarily a first impression for me. This is a first impression straight out of the bottle, but I've had a few samples of this before. Notice it has the little safety latch there, so you take that off. That pulls the pin from the scent bomb, as it were. Again, I smelled this before. I have a good idea of what to expect. Again, the atomizer is great for Jean Paul Gaultier. Excellent, excellent atomizer. Just like I remember. If you think of Le Male in terms of a bowl of candy, Le Male is like this, Ultra Male is like this. So it's just simply Le Male with a lot more. It is effusively sweet. It is very loud. This is a very aggressive fragrance. Like, this is very voluminous. It will fill a room like a scent trail or a scent cloud should. This will get you noticed, and that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to pique the attention of those around you, pique the interest of those around you. Love this fragrance. I gotta be honest, guys, I couldn't tell you which I like best, Le Male Le Parfum or Ultra Male. So we're gonna do that test in a video very soon, though. We'll make them go head to head and see which comes out on top. But right now, really, really like. Of course, Francis Kirkjohn is the perfumist. He is an amazing genius, master perfumist in my estimation, and in many others. Bergamot, pear, lavender, mint comprise the top. You've got heart notes of clary sage, cumin, cinnamon, resting on a base of amber, vanilla, and other woods like cedar wood. I think there's even some guaiac wood in there. Creamy sandalwood, yes, of course. But it's not oversweet. I use the word effusively, but I meant that in a positive connotation. Like, when you like something, it's just like more of, but it's not so much that you get fondered on it. I would say that it would be easy to get fondered on this, you know, if it's too cloying. This is one of those fragrances that you want to wear in a little bit cooler weather, simply because the high heat of summer, this is going to be really heavy, it's going to be cloying. It'll be kind of miasmic and overbearing in high heat. So watch how you wear this, watch how many sprays that you wear, but it's going to be wonderful if you want to pique the interest and curiosity of those around you. It is a banger, it is a compliment getter, always will be. Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. Guys, that's it for my summer scent fragrance haul today. We got kind of a mixed bag, though. We've got some eclectic fragrances there. We've got Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male, typically a partying or clubbing fragrance, but to me, I think it's just a really sweet, very nice, interest-pulling, compliment-getting, kind of loud, but loud in a good way. That's what Ultra Male is, I think. Got two really good fragrances right here with Subtil+Ultra and Perry Ellis 2017 edition, Perry Ellis For Men. Really nice presentations. I really like that twisted bottle style and really like that frosted bottle style. Very slightly green, slightly herbaceous. This one a little bit more. I would say if I had to choose which I liked out of these two, this one would win the prize, but they're both very good, both similar. This one just a little bit more stronger, probably a little bit better performance, but both definitely worth the money for green, fresh, summertime fragrance. I'm gonna have to give this a little bit more wear. Right now, my first impression isn't that great. I don't know what it is about the pepper and the lotus and the green leaves in this or the fruits in here, but it's just kind of synthetic and kind of clashing to me. It's not really doing aquatic all that well, and it's written into the name, Eternity Aqua. I would think that it would really focus on the ozonic or watery notes a little bit better, but it's not doing them well at all. And there's a lot of other fragrances out there that you can grab instead of this one that are as cheap, if not cheaper, and they do it a lot better. So I don't know, try it out for yourself before you buy it. I wouldn't blind buy this one, just like I did. But again, I blind buy, so you don't have to. Guys, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out my unboxing and first impression video today of some summer scents. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Scents, and I'll see you next time.